Yeah, we knew that Mercer was coming in hot, and they've been playing really well, and we knew we were just going to have to be locked in from the game plan, from the minute the ball tipped up. We knew it was just a mentality thing. We just wanted to come out the right way, both ends, and really fly around. We wanted to really try and impose our will on defense, and I think we did a really good job of that tonight. One of our best defensive performances of the year, in my personal opinion. We had a lot of deflections. We were flying around. We did a really good job on their two leading scorers, who were both very, very good. And I think we were just locked in, just from the tip to the finish. We were just locked into the game plan. I feel like we executed pretty well. And I think that was just mentality. We knew we had the ability to do what we needed to do to win the game. We just wanted to have that mentality from start to finish, and I think we did a good job.
No, if we kind of pick up on that a little bit, just talk about the mental aspect of playing that level of intensity on defense for so long.
Oh yeah, that didn't start tonight. That started like earlier this week in practice. We all knew like if we had any chance, because they're a good offensive team. It's a lot of movement. It's a lot of false actions, a lot of real actions. So the only way we were getting through this was playing hard and communicating. It didn't really matter what the game plan was. So we struggled with it in practice the other day, and then we met as a team, and we came out here, and we all just kind of made a vow, like, we're going to be intense for the whole 40 minutes of the game.
Jordan, if you would, something that we, you and I have talked about a little bit off and on in the past couple of years, setting the three-point record. Just talk about how special that is to you, and as well as just, I think you had 9 straight points there. Just talk about what that means to you and how neat it is to say you're going to do something and set a goal and be able to achieve it.
Man, it's really special. I think first and foremost, I thank Jesus and the Lord, because they've blessed me with abilities that I've been able to utilize my entire life, and I've been able to play in the Lord's name, and that's really, really helped me succeed throughout my life, and I'll never take his blessings for granted. So I think most importantly, my father always told me growing up, whenever something good happens to you, whenever I would tell him, he always asked me if I got on my knees and thanked the Lord. So that's first and foremost. Thank you to God, and I will continue to play in his name and to continue to try and use his gifts and blessings to the best of my ability. And after that, there's a lot of people who go into this. This is never going to be just about me, because now sitting at 274 threes, there's no way possible that I can sit at that without the people in my life and without the Peachtree City community, who's been there my entire life and have supported me. So thank you to everybody back home, and everybody who's involved with this program, all my coaches that I've had, all my current coaches, all the former teammates, all the current teammates. Without any of them, none of it is possible. And it's really special that I can be in a place where everybody has confidence in me, and everybody wants me to succeed, and everyone believes in me, and it's been that way since I came in as a freshman. And that's something that's really special about this place. And that's a goal that I've had since I came in as a freshman. That was a dream goal of mine. And I remember being in the gym my freshman summer, just shooting, working out, and just picturing this day and this night in my mind. I can remember like it was yesterday, and to be able to accomplish it is very, very special. And thank you to everybody who has been along with my journey, and everybody who has supported me, and everybody who has loved me and been my biggest critic. I've always kept it real with me when needed. And there's so many people to thank, but it's very special. It's very special. The amount of love and passion I have for this university and this program is very, very, very high. And I love this place, and I will forever be indebted to this program, this university. And I'm honored. I truly am honored to be able to to hold that record. And I'm truly honored to be first in 3-pointers made ever here. And forever that will be a we accomplishment, a Furman basketball accomplishment. That'll never be just Jordan Lyons. And I will always keep it that way. So, like, I know I got a little long-winded, but coming from the heart, thank you to everybody who has been there to support and everybody who has been there to push me and who has loved me and been there for me and who will continue to be there for me. And it really is special. I'm truly honored, and just thank you.
You know, I got a two-part question. Their big guy had a pretty nice day for them when y'all played at Macon. Tonight he's 4 out of 14, had 4 turnovers, and just can you tell he's getting frustrated as the game went along? And then also, they had 20 offensive rebounds, but 11 second chance points. So that's a kind of a sign of you guys just hanging in there, even when you could have slumped after giving up the offensive board, you still hung in there defensively, is it not?
Oh yeah, well, first off, it was just the whole team had a nothing easy mindset. You know, down in Macon, we were all leaving the paint open, and he was just scoring easy dunks and easy rolls. So, you know, it was a 5-man effort to go out there and just wall him up. Slaw did a good job on him. You know, Slaw accepted the challenge. He really took that personal. So that was the first part. And then the offensive rebound, just, you know, that was just kind of a keep playing mentality. Like, we knew they were going to get some. For one, Bender's like 7 feet. So, and Stairs a great offensive rebounder. So, you know, they really got going in that aspect. But like I said, our defense was so close-knit and intense today that it saved us.
Jordan, I think we've probably talked about this before, but just like to hear your perspective on the team aspect in terms especially from an offensive standpoint. You guys had 5 guys at double figures, another at 9. I think when you guys are really clicking and working, it's like anybody can sort of set the tone and then it kind of feeds off to everybody else, right?
Absolutely. I mean, one of our 3 main core values as a program is share the ball on offense. And I think, you know, we're definitely at our best when we pride ourselves on moving the ball, giving the ball from side to side, and just playing for each other. You know, the way that our system is built, the way that Coach Richey has taught us and coached this is to play for each other. And if you don't buy into that, the system's not going to work, and we will never be as good as our potential will allow us to be. And it's just a buy-in thing. We just have to be all in to get the best shot. It doesn't matter who gets it. And when we play like that, it's fun. The ball's moving, threes are going up. We're getting dunks, you know, we're getting all type of movement on offense. We're getting all type of shots. We're able to have a lot of variety when we're moving the ball and sharing and playing for each other. And I think it really comes down to, honestly, just really loving a brother and really just playing for your brother and playing for something that's bigger than yourself and playing for something aside from your own personal glory. And when we do that and when we have that mentality program-wide, we're really good. And offensively, we're really good. And we have a lot of people who can make a lot of plays. We have people who can drive, people who can post, people who can shoot, people who can create for others. I mean, we have a lot of versatility. And when we're moving the ball, we're able to showcase it. And we're able to use it to our advantage with the way the system is built. So I think it's more so just mentality of playing for each other and just playing for a brother that you love and playing for something bigger than yourself, playing for the name on the front of the uniform instead of the back. And that's really important around here. And when we've bought into that, we've been really good. And we got to continue to just keep growing in that aspect and just keep preaching it every day and keep holding each other accountable. And if we keep doing that, there's no telling the sky can be the limit.
No, I'll just talk about the 3 big men and the start they got off to. First 11 points in the game were scored by big men. You guys were combined 16 and 24 for 30 points tonight. I thought you guys were as good as you were defensively. I thought offensively taking the ball to the basket and being strong with it. Just talk about that a little bit.
No. Just always being on attack mode as a group, you know what I'm saying? Playing off each other. Once the guards got hot and stuff, it made it easier for us. And then coming out, they weren't really streaking the floor that much, so we were able to take advantage of that. Once Clay gets downhill, he's hard to stop. So that's just taking what the game gives you, really.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
It's going. Look at, at VMI, 10 out of 12.
Furman, careless pass up top, and now all by himself.
Times works.
Nice pass to Slauson, who slams it home. Ball down low to Bender. Wild shot attempt off the rim, no good. Loose ball run down by the Bears.
Good job. Keep it alive.
Down low, Bender back far side, wide open three-pointer, knocked down. Big shot by Mercer again. And looks to drive. Skip over to Alex Hunter. Quick trigger three. Count it. Alex Hunter knocked it section on the far side. Ball tipped away. Lyons 4-on-2. Hunter for Mounts. Yes! Slams it home! Clay Mounts! 4. Shot clock didn't reset. Just 12. How about Trey Clark gives it to Gurley up to Colin Kinney. Kinney against Lawson with 5.
Bottom line tonight, I thought that we were able to impose will on the defensive side of the ball, and that's where it always starts for us in big games, in any game, and it's when we're always at our best, when we can bring pressure with tight gaps, and we can really shrink the floor and really make it difficult for teams to get into their actions. And I thought that, probably 7 minutes of the game, you could start to feel it. And 31 deflection night, season high for us. Trey Clark gets 10 of them. I thought his activity was awesome. I thought I could talk about all 8 of our players that played meaningful minutes tonight because I thought they all contributed in a heavy way. I thought that Jordan and Alex and Trey, their ability to guard and communicate the coverages on their 2 best players was critical tonight. And even at times when Mike Bothwell had to do it, I thought we were really tight to the game plan. And we obviously adjusted some things from the first time we played them. And I told him yesterday, I said, if you want to win this game, you're going to have to communicate. And I found out, I didn't know this, we have film at 2:30 today. Walked through at 3, pregame meal at 3:30, and Jordan Lyons called a players-only film session at 1:30 to go through the coverages of what they were going to have to communicate and when they were going to have to communicate it, and that's how you earn the right to perform, and that's how when players are doing that and they're leading in that way, that's when you see championships develop, and their attention to detail and what we needed to do tonight to play well, I thought they were very keyed in on. Obviously, gave up a ton of offensive rebounds. They got a 7-footer down there, and their guards go. They started sending a whole lot of guys in the second half, obviously, when we had the lead. I thought we cleaned it up later, but, they were down there playing volleyball, a few possessions that we've got to continue to get better at in solving that. But I did think that we were really good in transition defense, and then I thought we were really good in the half court of making sure that their 2 best players, their 2 top scorers, had limited clean looks. And, did we play perfect? No, but to hold them to 33% twice, right, both halves, and for the game, and they go 25% from 3, I thought that was the story of the night, what we were able to do on the defensive end of the floor.
During this past few years of fun times here on the basketball program, you've had the innate ability to take out the lead scorer of the other team consistently. It's been Demetrius Vick has shot the lights out against every 7-9 team except Furman. He's now 3 out of 21 this year against Furman, 5 points tonight and 6 points tonight. How does that happen?
Well, I mean, without getting into a ton of the technicalities of the game plan, I think that scouting is – you can go about scouting a lot of different ways. And a lot of times, scouting can be, hey, we're going to figure out the 20 sets they run and we're going to go through all of them and, we're going to try to take out the whole team. And sometimes that can be difficult. Teams it's just like us. I mean, you want to take out Noah, you want to take out Jordan, you want to take out Clay. Then all of a sudden Alex or Mike steps up and plays the way they play. It's really hard. And so what we try to do is we try to be really dialed in our scouting. We try to figure out some disruption points that we can create through our pressure. And then obviously we put a lot of attention on really, really good players. And I think that's what you have to do in scouting. And we knew he was coming in here hot. We knew that he was averaging, 25 points a game in this winning streak that they've put together. And man, I watched it. I mean, wow. I mean, some of the shots, the shot he made late at VMI, some of the attacks that he's had to the basket in the ETSU game and in the Western game. I mean, the guy was just putting on a show, and we knew we had our hands full, and we knew it wasn't going to be one person. It was going to have to be a collected effort and connected effort, and I thought that was key. And that's something. Probably going to answer your question. That's how we have to do it, and we say that a lot. Like, one person is not going to stop this guy. We've got to make sure that we're connected on defense, and tonight we definitely were.
Jordan, put his name more in the record book probably each night the rest of the season. Just talk about him and what he has been to this program and what he's been to the team this year.
We could be here all night. To start talking about Jordan and what he's done and what he's meant to this program and, the uniqueness of he and I's relationship because, for one, Jordan was highly recruited out of high school, and it was at a time where we weren't really winning a lot of games. And he bought into a vision, and he bought into that vision, and he wanted to come be a trailblazer. He wanted to do something that hadn't been done before, and that was very important to him. And, for him to come at Furman when he did, be a 4-year contributor, and really, he's won a conference championship, and he's going to be the next win. There's never been a player, a coach, or anybody associated with Furman basketball that has 4 20-win seasons. Think about that. They've been playing since 1919. And, as everybody tries to figure out, after last Wednesday, is Furman okay? These guys are playing for a legacy of going down as basically himself, right? Not a coach, not a player. 4 20-win seasons, never been done before, and I think that's huge. I think that's incredible. And he tied Matt and Andrew tonight with all-time wins in program history, and at the same night that he gets the 3-point record. And as cliche as it sounds, he just impacts winning. He's courageous. He's confident. He's a great teammate. And he really, really cares. He really, really cares. And I look forward to walking through the journey with him. And I've been able to, for him, I was fortunate enough to be the primary recruiter that got to recruit him. And so I got to know him really well. When he got here my first year, I was able to be his position coach. And then when I got the job, I've been able to coach him these last 3 years. So I've seen like every angle with him. And as he and I talk about all the time, he and I are in this together. And, it's been neat. We talked about it this summer that, hey, there was a meeting he and I had 1-on-1 in my office, and it just, we looked at each other and, hey, it's going to come down to our leadership, right? It's going to come down to my leadership and your leadership of where this team's going to go, and couldn't be more proud to see his leadership continue to grow through the season. And of course, and that's what I told him. I said, don't get caught up in the pressure. Don't worry about what people on the outside say. They don't know. They don't know what we go through. Just understand that you're continuing to play for your legacy. And I've been really proud of how he's been able to approach that. Could be a lot of and not to be so long-winded, but I don't think everybody understands the pressure that could be on following a season like last year, but also the leadership of Matt Rafferty and Andrew Brown, and the pressure that comes with, okay, now this as the lone senior, this all has to be on my back, right? And I think sometimes we forget about all that like these guys are humans, right? And they're regular people, right? They're not just performers, they're regular people, and they've got to deal with the stresses and the pressures and the noises of like, what's wrong with them, and that they got to hear all that stuff. But at the end of the day and every single night, he's tried to give his best performing basketball, and that's what's put him in the position to be in, to be able to write his own story.
You talked about a little bit, going on to more of that point, last year, how hard, it is to, you look at where you are this year and where you are last year, it's hard to maintain that level of just, playing that way every single night for the majority of games. How do you as a coach do that? Like, what challenges do you face when you try to maintain that standard?
Well, I think that goes into just our culture and our drive to create a program that can sustain, and that's something we talk about, whether it be in recruiting, whether it be in development, whether it be in schematics, whether it be in game plans. We want to have a culture that sustains, and whatever that is, a great player leaving, a coach getting a promotion, a coach getting another great job, seniors graduating. Our programs got to last, right? And it's got to be here to stay. And we don't put as much emphasis on just creating some great team, so to speak. Our whole job and what we're trying to do is create a program that can sustain adversity, graduation, transfers, coaches leaving. And in order to do that, the program's got to be bigger than every single individual. And it's got to have an identity. And I think we've been able to create identity here. I think for us, we go a little bit against the norm. Right now, college basketball is infatuated with transfers. And every year there's going to be 700, 800, 900 transfers this spring, and they're already starting to make calls on them, okay? And who you got transferring in? Who's transferring out? And what we try to do is the opposite, and I'm a little stubborn on it, but we don't have a single transfer on our roster. And we have very few kids transfer out, and we're a true developmental program. And I think that's been the key to it is there's always somebody that's ready to go next, that's been acclimated to our culture, that we're not having to retrain. Hey, you did it another way at another place. All right, come see how we do it. Well, instead, Johnny Lawrence and Marcus Foster are getting an everyday view of Jordan Lyons' leadership. And they're getting to see Clay Mounts, how he goes about his business every single day. And nobody knows what those two kids are doing. Okay? Last week after the VMI game, this whole building cleared out. Marcus Foster is on the gun shooting 500 threes because he understands what this program's about. And so now all of a sudden, in a couple of years, they're going to be saying, well, where did Marcus Foster come from? Right? But we have invested in development and developing people, and I think what we've seen is it's carried over on the court. And I think like Jalen Slauson, okay, look at his improvement from last year. How about Mike Bothwell? Take for instance Colin Kinney tonight. Okay, the improvement that he's made in 1 year, and we just absolutely just can't. And so what that is that's just, hey, this is how they do it. This is how you're expected to do it every single day. It doesn't matter who's graduating. It doesn't matter who's leaving. We're going to do this in April. We're going to do this in May. We're going to do this in June, July. And when you have consistency of system and you've got a culture that can sustain any type of moving parts, then you give yourself a chance to continue to win. And we always say we want to coach this year's team, but we also want to coach next year's team, and that's very important as we continue to build this program.
You did mention giving up 20 offensive rebounds. They had 11 second chance points. I think 2 or 4 of those came very late. But that kind of speaks to how intensive and focused your defense was, no matter what tonight.
Yeah, it's a defense of our guys. They missed 40 shots, right. And so now letting them go get 20 of those misses is not good. So I'm not in any way justifying that, but I did see an effort to go and try to impact the second shot. And I did see guys walling up around the basket and not fouling and not putting guys on the free throw line and finding shooters on the offensive rebounds. So, yeah, they get 20 offensive rebounds. As a coach, you would love to see a 1.0 OER in any phase of your game, but offensive rebounding, to be honest with you, you really want to see that up 1.25, in terms of points per possession. So when you see 20 as a coach, you would love to see 25 points off of that. That's kind of the norm of the metric. And so to see 11 points off of that, if they do get those 25, that's 14 more points. That's a much tighter outcome. And so while we did give up some balls, there's no doubt, and we've got to watch that on film, and we got to figure out what we got to continue to do to tighten that up. At the same time, I didn't think that we just quit flowing and quit flying around. I thought we made multiple efforts to try to impact the next shot.
You guys came out playing with a lot of intensity and energy on defense. Then you fell behind, were down 19-18, and went on that 16-0 run. It just seemed to me that the defensive intensity went up another notch or two. Did you see that, or was it something technical everybody did?
No, I think a little bit. Like we got into the flow of the game a little bit, and we didn't really adjust anything. I thought we just tried to do it better, and that was kind of the discussion of the first couple timeouts. We're playing good, but not great. We're playing. We got off to a good start. Clay got a couple early buckets, and we got up 9-2, and then they go on a run. They go on a 9-0 run, and they take the lead, and then they pushed it out a little bit, and then it was just, hey, we got to tighten this thing up. Some of their early buckets, 2 transition buckets, 2 buckets off offensive rebounds, and then just an uncontested 3. And the message was they're getting too easy a looks here, right? And so it's not about what we do, it's how we do it. And it doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, we're executing the game plan right there. Yes, I saw that. We're not doing it hard enough, and so we've got to play with a little bit more intensity, a little bit more edge. And I thought we did. You're right. Like you could legitimately feel it, right? I mean, you're sitting not too far from me, and I'm watching it, and you can legitimately feel the pressure. And I thought that's when the game turned, when we really picked up the ball pressure, but at the same time we didn't allow our defense to get extended. I thought that was the key. I think we got 3 shot clock violations or close to it in the first half. And, so I haven't seen all the numbers yet, but I thought we did a great job in that spurt defensively. And it was a big reason why we were able to get that margin.
I thought starting out tonight, as good as the defense was, and I asked this question to Noah earlier, your big men, I think they scored Noah, Jalen, and Clay scored the first 11 points of the game. I thought it was their most aggressive game as far as taking the ball just at the rim. And just talk about that. Was do you think that? What did you see tonight?
We wanted everybody to play with aggression tonight, and I thought that was going to be a key piece to the game, that we had to make sure that on both ends we were aggressive. And Coach Gary's done a great job. He really has, and they've been playing really well. I mean, it's not just they've been squeaking out of these things. I mean, they've been playing some really good ball, and they do a great job. Part of their streak, in my opinion, was twofold. I thought their transition offense has gotten a lot better, and we saw Robertson. He's going to be a really good player in this league. He had 4 threes on us tonight. But when they put him in the starting lineup, and they kind of took a little bit of that point pressure off of Dimitri, they've been able to play faster, and they've been able to get some stuff in transition. And I thought, on the other end of it, though, their defense has gotten a lot better, and they've really been. They've had on film. You can see their physicality. You can see their toughness. They really make it hard to get the ball in the paint, and they really try to strip your ball from you. They got active gaps, and so they've done a good job there. And we knew that we were going to have to be more aggressive in Macon. I thought we were a little passive offensively. I thought them painting us kind of bothered us a little bit. It slowed our cutting down and our ball movement up, or slowed it down. And I thought tonight it was key, regardless of what they're doing. Defensively, we got to make sure our movement is crisp, and we got to make sure we're aggressive and we're playing off of 2 feet. And I thought that ended up being pretty critical. And for us, the open man is the go-to man. And we had a couple of actions, obviously, to try to get some guys some shots at some certain points. But when we get out and we get stops and we get to run and we get to stretch the floor and we get to go play, it's a fun brand of basketball. And we had a couple of dollars for Clay. We wanted to, we called, that was a little wrinkle, that first play, to get him a rip right there on the baseline, or on the lane line, and we wanted to be in attack mode in all phases tonight.
You mentioned you can feel that defensive intensity. Sometimes it's hard to see really good defense being played just because it kind of goes unnoticed, but you can kind of see it as well. I mean, it's really tangible tonight. It's been a long season. The ETSU game feels like it's been months ago. But was this your best defensive effort as a whole, you think? I
mean, it's the most deflections. We know that. I think also to, like, shooting percentage wise, to hold a team of they're the number 1 3-point shooting team in the league, and they're very efficient in their offense, and so it wasn't like we just stymied a bad offense, and they run good stuff. They're very sound. They can shoot it. They've got a 7-footer that's rolling to the rim, and so yeah, without watching it and to be able to figure out all the grade outs, I would say obviously it compares to the ETSU game, the Loyola game early here. Some of our better performances. Even we see how good Winthrop's playing right now. We forget we were up 19 at one point on Winthrop, and but all those games started with our defensive intensity, and that's what we got to continue to buy into, and we got to continue to understand that. And I'll tell you, it's hard. It's hard to play that way, but when you buy into it and you embrace that's who you are, and you realize that's your identity, and you stick to that, I think we're really, really hard to score against, and we haven't. We haven't been playing awful, but I just don't think that we've, because we've got some guys that can score. We've got some guys that can play together. They know how to move the ball. And look, it's not like our defense is awful. I think we're 90 in the country, somewhere in that range. And it hadn't been awful, but it just hasn't been to the level that we need it to be. And we spent a lot of time on it in the off week, and I thought our guys did a great job buying into it. And I thought it carried over in the game tonight. But it's clear we're capable. And I think that's what we got to see, that it can't be selective. It's got to be consistent, and it's got to be every night. And our leadership has to demand that. And if we can do that, it's going to fuel everything else. And it's going to be a huge part of our stretch run in these last 7 regular season games and going into the postseason. Oh, one more thing. Wanted to mention, I know you guys saw Coach Johnson wasn't on the bench tonight. He had his daughter, and she was born today. So London Johnson, and healthy baby, healthy mama. Everybody's good. So that took place this afternoon, and we're excited to welcome another family member into the fold. And appreciate everything he's done. He had the scout tonight, did a great job of getting everything prepared, and then they went to the hospital last night. So happy for him and his family, and look forward to getting him back whenever time allows. But yeah, just in case anybody was wondering why he wasn't on the bench tonight, that's he was pertaining to things that are more important.